Hey guys, welcome back. It is a recap time. If you weren't there for the absolutely awesome stream where we definitely broke some sort of record that will probably never be broken again, then you're going to want to watch that. I will put a link to that in the description, hopefully at the top of it, if I remember to do so. Also, up here somewhere, if I remember to do so. So it should be there. I'll try to do it right after this. But as I mentioned, I think we have a record that will never be beaten. No, it doesn't count. If you're opening packs for a rip and ship, they have to be your own cards that you're opening for yourself. If there are any PokeTubers that would like to beat my time or my amount of packs, then feel free to do so. I think it's fair if it's only in one sitting, one stream, one recording, whatever you want to call it. But I must say, I did get very lucky with the lack of dupes here, and I was also very lucky to pull everything in less than 3 cases for Scarlet and Violet base set. So to complete the set, and I wasn't ripping the packs open as fast as I possibly humanly could, but just as a reference, we got the complete set in 5 hours and 32 minutes. 57 seconds is when you could see like the entire card. That's the timestamp that I got on the opening there. Thank you everyone that hung out with me for that extremely long opening. I think by the time I went through and verified that I had all the cards, it was something close to 6 hours. Anyone that sat with me through that, you were an absolute legend, awesome individual. So we went through 581 packs. So I'm going to say the record is, we got a record for time, which is 5 hours and 32 minutes, 57 seconds. And then also to do it in 581 packs, which was 16 booster boxes and 5 packs. When I put on the stream, the title of the stream, that we were trying to complete the set on day one, there was no way I thought we were going to complete the entire thing, but we did. I see a lot of people complaining that the set is too easy, that you get too many hits, that they're not going to be worth anything. I think that's crazy. Other than just mad lads like myself, and this is not even something that I've ever done in the past to open that much on a release day. It's not even close to practical to open this yourself. And I think it would be very, very hard to replicate opening the entire set within 3 cases. I think you'd be very hard pressed. You'd be missing a couple cards for a very long time. In this video as well, as always, we're going to do a breakdown of how many hits I got. We're going to take a look at the cards themselves. Maybe we'll go through Monday we're going to be putting them in the binder. So the chill binder stream on Monday, look forward to that. If you're a fan, we're going to be filling out the entire binder because we have the entire set. I have confirmed that I have all the reverses. So that's another thing. Not only did we get all the chase cards, we got all the reverses. Although the reverses are pretty easy to do now. Well, not that easy to do. But I had 2 or more of each reverse. Just due to the fact that there's 2 reverse slots per pack now. So essentially more than double the reverses of what you've seen in recent times with the trainer gallery sets, because sometimes you don't get a reverse whatsoever. And in this case, you're always at least getting 1 reverse. And then sometimes you get the second one. Or I guess most often. Usually you're getting 2 reverses. Other than the times where you get the illustration rares. The nomenclature, I still need to go back through it and kind of relearn it, because they've kind of messed some stuff up. So forgive me in this video when we're going through here. I'm going to describe to the best of my ability without being a little less lazy and looking up the actual rarities that they are now, the official rarities. But we'll take note of that anyway. All right, so the EXs, we got every one of them here. And I'll show you guys which ones I have I've listed and not listed. We're not necessarily going to look at every single individual one at the same time here, but you're going to have to trust my word with the count unless you feel like actually looking through and doing it. We got the official count to go with this. So just to give you guys an idea of like how many of each ones we have, I'll shuffle through these as we talk about the numbers. So as I mentioned, we're working with 16 boxes and 5 packs into the 17th box. I stopped opening at that point, just because like what am I going to gain from that? I'm going to get more duplicates. I thought I was going to finish off whatever box I was on, but I opened so little of it that I just didn't really want to open the other 31 packs from the box. Might as well keep them Keep them for a rainy day. Maybe a crappy opening if we need to at some point. Or if there's anyone else that actually needs them, then maybe we do that. So the Miraidons and the Gardevoirs are important here. If you're opening this set, those are the two most playable EXs, and for that reason, those are the ones that are worth selling, because there's players that are looking for these right now to build decks. So do that. So EXs, we have 12 in the set, 12 that I took and put aside. They're in those black sleeves that are their final resting place before they go into the binder, which is even more of their final resting place. Plus 67, which are the ones that we're shuffling through right now, just to give you guys an idea of how many of each. Pretty even distribution of each one, and the Terraform ones don't seem to be any more rare than the others, so I just lumped them in with the EXs in general. So even though they're a little bit more fancy, they got the texture, they got the Terra type, seem like they're pretty much the same pull rate. Again, you can get plus or minus some copies of these. We didn't open a large enough sample size to know the exact hit rate of each individual card. We're just going on the whole. So EX is what we're talking about now. 79 in total. So if you open a pack of this, if you opened one of my packs, I had a 13.5% chance, or 13.5% of the time that I would open one of these EX cards, which is pretty good. Again, guys, I think people are overreacting. They're like, oh, the set's going to go to 0. It's too easy. It's too easy to open the whole thing. No one is opening this much. Well, not no one, but most people are not. 99.999% of people are not opening this much, especially not for themselves. Usually if they're selling packs to other people, like a whatnot, rip and ship, dip and slip and slide, yes, maybe they're opening that many. Most people are not taking this many packs and opening them themselves. I wouldn't be either if we weren't making some sweet, nasty content, if I didn't get to hang out with you guys in the live stream while I was doing so. If it was just me, and I would not be doing this. I'd be buying signals. You'd be crazy not to. All right, now, full art Pokemon. What do we got? We got the Baked Bean. Unfortunately, in terms of the Baked Bean spider here, the beans in the background there, probably the worst one you could possibly pull. So we got Arcanine, Gyarados, and I think I only pulled the one Gyarados. So as we'll see here, we have a lot of cards where I only pulled one of them in almost 3 cases. Pretty wild. Still hard to do. People, I don't understand the people that are like, oh no, they need to be more rare. I need to. No cards should be on release after like people have had a chance to open the product, like a week or 2 after release. There should be no cards in the set that are over $100. That's just how it works. That's how it should work. We got to bring it back down. Otherwise, we're getting into the territory of just being like the ridiculous sports cards, 1 of 1, or that stupid Magic the Gathering stuff. I love Magic the Gathering. I don't mean any offense there, guys, for anyone that's about to write an angry comment. But that 1 of 1 ring crap is dumb. It's a gimmick, and I don't want to see that in Pokemon. I think this is a happy medium that we're coming back to. Your Moonbreon, no matter how popular the Pokemon is, we've seen Chase Charizards in the past. They all end up being in around $100. Burning Shadows Zard, looking at you. Your Shining Zards, etc. Other than like in the peak hype dog to the extreme, I think even the Shining Fates and the like Champion's Path one drop down. They probably hit $100 at some point if they aren't there already. Don't quote me on that, but look it up. Look up the price history for yourself. So I don't think one or the other of these are necessarily rare. Just when you're dealing with full arts that are this hard to pull, even in this many packs, we don't have enough packs to get a true sample size. I would imagine these are all the same pull rate. I wouldn't see why they wouldn't be. So, all right, we're going through the full arts here. Again, these are the ones that are going in the binder. I've separated those off at this point. We'll take a look at those. And then at the end, we'll also go through any of the extras that I did and didn't list. And I'll give my reasoning for that. If anyone sees anything that I should have listed, again, I've been pressed for time. So, yeah, playable stuff that people are going to want for decks. That's the stuff you usually want to list right away because people are shopping for it right now. That's kind of what it comes down to. Everyone's eager to build that new deck so they can all play the same thing against each other. And you got to be the one that provides it. So, full art Pokemon. We had 12 in the set. We actually only had 6. We had 6 that were not listed. 6 that were not listed and 1 that was listed. So I think our numbers are off slightly there. We had 18 total. I think we had 19 total. Hold on, guys. Full alert. All right, we're spoiling a little bit here. Actually, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We had 6. All right, we're gonna have to do some math on the fly in order to correct my mistake that I had here. So we had 6. We got 6 plus full art Pokemon. We had 12 in the set, and then we had 4 that 12 in the set, 6 plus 12 in the set, plus we had 6 that I didn't list. So we have 24. So 24, here's how we're doing the math here for anyone that's curious, and we now get to explain that for some reason. Well, the reason is that I messed up. But we take 24 and we divide that by the total number of packs, which is 581, which gives us a 0.0413, which is sweet. That means we got a 4% chance of hitting one of these in a pack. And then if we multiply that by 36, it'll give us our average. So we get 1.5 essentially per box on average. Doesn't mean you're going to get 1.5. Clearly, doesn't mean you're going to get 1. Doesn't mean you're going to get 2. You might get 0. You might get 3. Average, at least for what I pulled, is right in around there. And that number could change if we had a larger sample size. Again, ideally, we'd be in like the tens of thousands of packs before we even really start to see those true numbers. And maybe even like 20,000 plus before we can say like pull rates for individual cards. It might be a little bit easier on here than since I think the pull rates on the hardest to pull stuff here is definitely reined back quite a bit from something crazy like an Evolving Skies. See you guys on Tuesday, where we're going to open more of those and eventually get a Moonbreon. We're never surrendering on that. That will probably be the end of what the packs that I have to open. So I'll have to be on the hunt to purchase more of those in order to continue. All right, so next up, we got full art trainers. So here's my full art trainers. Again, we only got like one Miriam. There's some of them that we only got one of. And usually, even some of them we got two of. So we got 8 full art trainers, all 8 from the set. We had 4 that I did not list at this time, 2 that I did list. And 6, so we had 20. So we had a 3.4% chance, or 3.4% of the time, 3.4% of the packs, we pulled a full art trainer, or we ended up with 1.2 per box. All right, SIR, the special illustration rare, or people still want to call them alt arts. Again, it's not necessarily the same rarity. Yes, it's kind of a similar card where it's got an alternate art, but it's a new rarity. I think this is how rare things should be. If I open 3 cases of a Pokemon product, I think it's reasonable to expect that you're going to pull the whole set, or most of it at least. It should be very close. It's a lot of packs, and it's way more than almost everyone opens. All right, so here we go. We got the SIR Pokemon. We have 6 from the set. The Miraidon was evading us quite a bit. We got a couple Gardevoirs. The Great Tusk ended up being the last card that we pulled. We got the Koraidon and the Iron Treads. The Iron Treads are trolling us a little bit, showing up when we needed the other Donphan variant. We wanted prehistoric Donphan, not future Donphan. So SIR Pokemon, we had 6 plus 5 that we listed, so 11 total. 1.9% chance of getting one out of a booster pack, which I think is pretty fair, right? 1.9%, 2% chance of pulling an SIR Pokemon from a pack, I think is pretty reasonable. You can open 100 packs and maybe you get 2 of them, or 0.7 per box. So again, not guaranteed that you're going to get one in every box, but you're probably going to get one of those or an SIR trainer, as we'll see right now. SIR trainers. There's only 4 of those bad boys. So I don't know if you could lump these in to the same rarity as the Pokemon. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. Maybe the odds are the same of getting them. But that I don't know. We'd have to find out. We'd have to have a giant sample size if they are the same pull rate as the other stuff, with a giant super duper pull rate or sample size. I mean, then maybe probably. So we got all four. We got the Miriam in the first booster box, which is very lucky. We ended up getting a second one of those. I sold it. Again, I usually sell off all the duplicates because we can make a little bit of money back that way. It makes it a little bit more affordable to do so. Now, the SIR trainers, we had 4, plus we listed 4, so we had 8 total, or a 1.4% of the time pulling one out of a pack, a 1.4% chance, if you will. It's not, I'm kind of hesitant to say that it's a 1.4% chance just because the sample size isn't big enough to actually give us the true number or true value for that. And I would more lean towards 1.4% of the time. When I open those packs, I got an SIR trainer, which is still, they're hard to get. And if they're the equal odds of pulling any individual one, if the chase is the Miriam, you might not get it. You might get a Miriam twice in a row. You might not get any Miriams. Again, it comes down to duplication, which we heavily avoided. And that's why I'm pretty confident that no one's going to be able to open this entire set in 581 packs like we did. We definitely broke some records. We got the Miraidon here is just flaring up. All right, the gold SRs. Speaking of the Miraidon down here, let's take a look at these. I lumped the gold Pokemon in with the gold items and everything else. You could do them separate. Essentially, I pulled 2 of each of these. If anyone wants to do the separate math, we're gonna combine them, and then even then, these might end up being in that same slot. That takes up like however often you get a card like this, since they do have the same kind of glitter pattern. They're probably printed on the same foil. They're probably printed on the same sheet, if I had to guess. But we'll have to wait and see if somebody starts taking pictures at work and getting themselves in trouble before we can find out if that's a thing. So we have all 6 of the gold cards, the secret rares, if you will. I think they have a different name at this point in time. They have triple. I think they call them hyper rares now, because there's like three stars at the bottom. I'm pretty sure that's what they called them. So hyper rares are no longer the rainbow babies. We got triple star, hyper rare, secret rare. I still want to call them secret rare gold cards. But those, we have 6 that we pulled, 5 extra for 11 total. 1.9% of the time we pulled one out of a pack. We got 0.7 per box. So not guaranteed a gold star per box. Not gold star, a gold card per box. I guess they're kind of gold. They're gold stars. They get triple star on the bottom, triple gold star. Pretty awesome. All right, now last but not least, and I still haven't sleeved the ones that I want to pull from these. There's some of these that I might end up having to look for extra copies, just because there were print lines on them. I mean, they're covered in foil, so like everything is gonna show up, but like there's like roller print lines, whatever, like the scratch that goes top to bottom in a very sharp straight line, whatever you guys want to call that, those are there. So with the IRs, we had 42 of them, and I'll go through. You see some of these, and actually the Dolliv was the second last card that we needed. So again, there's just so many of these. I think now that we're on that topic, we're gonna go back for a second, and the holos. I think the holo in every pack is stupid. I'm sorry, Pokemon Company, but I think it's stupid because there's only, I didn't even count. I gotta count how many holos there are, but regardless, there's so few holos in the set that you get the same ones over and over again. Like I have 2 giant stacks over there of holos, and there's probably like 10 different holos. I don't know how many different holos there are. Once again, I'll have to check that, but we have a billion of each of them. There's no point in them putting a holo in every pack. The double reverses, yes, I like it. Pretty awesome, because it makes collecting the reverses a whole lot easier. I think it matches up, and it works really well with the actual pull rates that are in the set right now. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but I'm going to say, Pokemon, you did an awesome job, and I like that it's achievable. We have beautiful art, we have hard to pull stuff, but it's not so hard to pull that I'm opening 3,000 packs. Thank you for that. And the fact that we could even come close, let alone actually completing the set within 3 cases of booster boxes, says a lot. I think it's back down where it needs to be. Not everything needs to be a stonk dog 8,000x mega super hard to pull alt art that you can open an entire booster case and not get any. That's not fun. Like Silver Tempest. And again, we're an outlier here on the channel where we open a lot of product, especially on release now. But like Silver Tempest, when I opened 2 cases and I got 1 alt art, that hurts. That stings pretty bad. This I think is a nice like happy medium. Yes, it's very hard to open the entire thing. It's nothing like back in the day with like if you want to go to base set and say you open like a box and a half, you probably have the entire set. No, but also we got something cool coming up at the end here. Dolliv, second last card that I needed. Again, these are pretty hard to get every single one of them. No, they're not valuable. Yes, they're hard to pull. No, they're not so hard to pull that you can't like physically do it yourself if you're opening way too much. If that makes any sense. We got a couple Slowpokes. Again, I'll just keep the best one of the 2, but there's a few that I might have to replace. So I'm gonna sleeve them up. I'll put the better condition one in my binder. And maybe I'll shop around or see if someone wants to trade me the ones that I have that have print lines on them. I think there's a couple. So we got the Ralts and the Corellia. If you have these, if you have extra copies of these, I would advise putting them up for sale or trade, because there are players that are going to want these. You need them to evolve into the Gardevoir, and people are playing that deck at the moment, so they're very sought after. For that reason, but also really cool story art where you got the girl with her Ralts and it grows up and she grows up and has a baby and she's a grandma or something at the end. All right. We got Fido, a couple Fidos. We got Grievards, like one Riolu, one Sandile. I think both of my cloths were scratched or lined, factory lined, which kind of sucks. Well, again, it's not going to be expensive. It's going to be a pain to find one that doesn't have scratches on it. This is the kind of stuff that, guys, just buy some penny sleeves, put it in a penny sleeve. Your reverses, your holos, your special cards like this, but even if they're only worth a couple bucks, even if they're, maybe your reverses are only worth 50 cents, put them in the sleeves and then keep them for a while. Someone will want them eventually. Probably someone like me that doesn't have them yet, that collects sets and wants the reverses without scratches all over them. So, all right, King Gambit, we got a couple. You see here, we usually like either have 1, 2, or I think the Dondozo was the only one that I had more than 2. Yeah, we somehow kept pulling the Dondozo. We got 4 of those somehow, but again, I don't think he's necessarily easier to pull. That just happens to be what we ran into. Okay, now, one thing before we get into the cards that I listed and the cards that I didn't list yet, I probably will list them. Just, again, it's kind of a time constraint thing. We had 191 total hits out of 581 packs, which gives us a 0. If we take 191 divided by 581, we get a 0.3287. In other words, we got a 33% chance of getting a hit from any pack. 33% of the time we got a hit from our pack, which is funny because guess what vintage was? It used to be 1 in 3, just like vintage. Is that a coincidence? Is that the true numbers? Who knows? Someone else is going to have to look at some other data. I only have so much time. All right, now we're going to look at first the stuff that I listed on eBay kind of right away. Mostly playable stuff, duplicates that were worth a few bucks. Try and make some money back here on the extreme amount of money that it would cost for three booster cases. So everyone, this is for everyone out there that says, Rattle, how the hell, you're so rich. How do you open so many cards? Well, you got to be pretty smart with this stuff, especially with the YouTube channel is not exactly ginormous at this point in time. So there is that ad revenue. There are people that'll super chat, etc. It's better if you use the Stream Elements donation thing because more of it goes towards the cause. But either way, thank you guys very much for that. Thank you everyone that watches, and thank you for anyone that suffers through when I go to the bathroom and run an ad. It's always fun to see what ads you guys get. So I do appreciate that as well. It's kind of accidentally turned into a fun thing. We got a couple extra cave mummies. So Prof Research, always playable, going to be playable. Seems like they're going to keep printing it as Prof Research with the different professors. It'll be interesting to see if we get like alternate versions of the professors, which would be pretty cool. Spoiler alert, plug your ears right now if you haven't played the game. But there's a robot of her, so maybe that'll be the SIR Prof Research is. We got an extra Gardevoir. That's a good one to get. Again, playable, fan favorite Pokemon, cool story card, everything going for it in the world. Long term, probably awesome. Yes, everything is going to dip down, guys. Everyone's like, oh my god, the prices are going to drop. Yes, they were going to drop. The set just came out. People haven't even opened it yet. Other than like pre-release and stuff like that. Chill, guys. Give it a couple weeks. Let people open some product. See how it plays out. Unless you need something for a deck, unless you don't care about the money, then grab the singles now. Whatever you got to do. Or if you're really close to finishing the set and you just want to polish it off, I can't blame you. I've done that before. Ideally, stuff is like a generation old. People have moved on to like the next cool, flashy thing, and then you pick that stuff up. But Koraidon, we got him. A spare Iron Treads EX. So the Koraidon's not bad in terms of value. I think it's a beautiful card. We got the Dedenne right there, which is pretty sweet. People do love a good Dedenne. Iron Treads is pretty inexpensive. Again, not exactly a fan favorite, not playable, so it doesn't have much going for it, and even more so with the Spidop. So it kind of really sucks that we got 2 extra Spidopses instead of either the Miraidon or the Gardevoir. Would have been nice to get 2 copies of, but you know what? We didn't dupe up this much. So again, if you didn't notice yet, this is the trend is that we're all of the chase stuff. This is what we're looking at now. This is the extra chase stuff that I didn't put in my set that we're selling off to kind of make a couple bucks back, so I don't have to remortgage my house in order to afford this. All right, Penny sitting at the desk. Not a bad one. Not expensive, in my opinion, for kind of how hard it is to pull. I think these are going to be like really sought after long term. There's going to be like a whole nother category of like there's full art trainer collectors. Are there going to be full art SIR trainer collectors? Probably. Miriam, very nice to pull an extra copy of this. Definitely doesn't hurt the wallet, or hurts the wallet less by doing so. Again, we could have just not pulled that one. But I think there was one of the trainer cards that we didn't pull an extra of. I can't remember which one it is. Because there's 4, right? 4? Jacques. We didn't pull an extra Jacques. All right, I'm losing my mind, guys. We didn't pull an extra Jacques. I think it was Jacques. All right, we're going to check real quick. So at least if I sound stupid, I'll correct it. Yeah, it was the Jacques. We only pulled one of the Jacques, so it was very possible that we would have, we basically have an extra set here. We just got an extra Arvin instead of an extra Jacques. But that's the kind of weird duplication that you can get. That's the kind of duplication that we didn't get. And that's just coincidence, because these were from like 3 separate cases of cards. Within a case itself, I can see if they did a really good job of like mapping it out so you didn't get too many duplicates, then awesome, good job on them. But this was just coincidence, and again, why we completed the set so fast. We can credit the easier pull rates or the more hits per box kind of thing, but at the same time, we also got very lucky. We got to realize that, and that's why I'm pretty confident that no one's going to be able to beat our set completion in 581 packs. I don't think that will ever be done again. You guys were there for it. You made history. Check it out if you haven't seen it. Gardevoir. Again, playable, fan favorite, full art. Someone's going to want this for their deck probably. We got very lucky and pulled 3 extra Miraidon full arts. Those are some good ones to get. Again, playable. So the Miraidon, the Gardevoir are the biggest ones in terms of playability that you need to be looking at. We got Arcanine EX. Somehow no extra Gyarados, but 2 extra Arcanines. Again, we had 1 extra of each of the bicycle lizards, gold bicycle lizards. 2 extra lightning energies, which is probably good because Miraidon's playable right now. So that's probably the better option for the gold energy. Nest Ball staple comes back all the time. Going to be very useful right now. One of those cards that, like, when Nest Ball comes back in years to come, the people are going to want this card, and it'll kind of retain value. So that's kind of the aspect of the trading card game that you should at least kind of know with some of that stuff, whether it's an Ultra Ball or Double Turbo Energy or Escape Rope or Nest Ball and stuff like that. They come back, and these ones are still playable. You can play this card. If another Nest Ball in the next generation is printed, it'll come back into standard. It'll become more expensive. It'll retain some value. Good to know. And then I did list these 2 extra Ralts cards that I had because, again, somebody's going to want them for their deck. I don't necessarily need them because I just want one of each card. Whew. All right, I think that's it for now, guys. Again, if you want to join tomorrow on Monday for the live stream, we'll be putting that binder together. It's going to be pretty satisfying to slap that all in there. I'm going to try and get everything sleeved. We're just going to do these guys before the stream so that we can more just slide everything into the binder. I think that's the better way to go. But we're playing around with it. We got to try it out. See you guys there. Love you. Join the Discord, and remember,